fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. May God continue to bless his holy word. You may be seated if you so desire in the presence of the Lord. I want to talk this morning for a few minutes, this afternoon for a few moments from the thought, if I could. God, I just want to be sure. Shake somebody's hand and tell them, neighbor, that's what I told the Lord. Lord, I just want to be sure. God, I just need to be sure. God, I just want to be sure. I just want to be sure. There is an unblinking reality that most of us have to face and accept, everyone in here at some particular time. We must accept the fact that God has called each of us into this thing called ministry. I want everybody in the room to understand that God has called all of us to participate and to share into ministry. And what I mean by God has called us into ministry, I'm suggesting that there is a divine assignment that has been mandated for all of our lives from someone that is greater than we are. In other words, when we were called to serve, called into ministry, it was not by grandmama, it was not by our grandfather, it was not by our pastor, it was not by one of the church deacons, but when we were drafted into ministry, it was by someone who is greater than you and I. For someone God called us, he gave us different responsibilities. And the responsibility that God has given us varies from one person to another. When God called for someone to deliver Israel out of the Egyptian bondage, God called for Moses to go. When God wanted someone to lead the children of Israel into the promised land, it had to be Joshua. When God wanted someone to go fight certain battles, he had Gideon. When God wanted a voice to speak and to cry out, he had Jeremiah. God always has certain people to do certain assignments. And what you cannot do is compare your assignment to someone else's assignment, because you're not doing what you want to do or doing something that they are doing, or what they are doing is getting more notice than what you are doing. You have to understand that the assignment that God has called you to do, you must fulfill the mandate that is upon your life. Everyone is not called to be the president of the United States. There are some who are called simply to be the Secretary of State, or simply the Secretary of Finance. In other words, we all have certain assignments that God has called us to do. There are some people who have been called just to be the neighborhood mother. There may be some seasoned mother in here right now, or you may understand in the neighborhood that you grew up, there was always a mother that was there, that watched out over all the neighborhood. She sat on her porch and just sat and rocked in her chair. She knew everybody's name. Everybody knew her. That's all she did. If you messed up, she got off her porch. She walked down her steps, got out in the streets, dragged you by your ear, whipped you from one side to another, and said, I dare you to go tell your mama. That was her job. That was her responsibility. And she did what God had commanded and called her to do. There are some who have been called just to mentor someone. You don't get a whole lot of credit. You don't mentor the men's group. You don't mentor the women's group. But there is a little boy who just looks up to you. There's a little girl who looks up to you. And all that you do is take them under your wing, and you walk with them. You talk with them. You keep their hair clean. You keep their shoes signed. You keep them encouraged to go back to school. You taught them how to cook. You taught them how to work on cars. That is your assignment. You don't get a lot of credit. You don't get a lot of pats on the back. Your name is never in the light. They don't have posters aboard. All that you know is you are just doing what God has called you to do. Whatever it is, you have to fulfill your assignment. Shake somebody's hand and tell them, fulfill your assignment. Shake somebody else's hand and tell them, fulfill your assignment. Many things that God has called us to do is things that we want to do, and oftentimes there are things that we have not signed up for that we find ourselves doing. The amazing thing about doing what God said is that you always question if what God tells you to do is actually going to work. I don't know about anybody in here, but God has told me to do a whole lot of stuff. And when God speaks to me and tells me to do some things, the first thing I ask myself, God, are you sure? And how is it going to turn out? Because as God shares some things with you, other things are revealed. You wonder how things are going to end up. Because oftentimes when God reveals certain things, he shows you the beginning of the situation. And every now and then he will show you the end of the situation. But what he keeps a mystery is everything in between. I don't know about anybody in here, but I see the beginning from time to time. I see the end oftentimes, but I never see the in between. I'm here to let everybody know God had done that for a reason. Shake somebody's hand and say, God did that for a reason. He did it for a reason, because if he showed you everything that you had to go through in order to get where he wants you to be, you would have quit a long time ago. Shake somebody's hand and say, I know that's right. All the hell I've been through, all the stuff I had to deal with, all the names I've been called, the name times I've been stabbed in my back. If I had known I had to go through all of that to get where I am right now, I would have quit. I would have folded up my Bible. I would have threw in the towel. I would have quit church, told everybody where to go. But thanks be to God that my calling is greater than my experience. Shake somebody's hand and say, I know that's right. Shake somebody's hand and say, I know that's right. Every now and then when God shows you some stuff, it's the in-between that he don't reveal. All the heartaches, all the headaches. That's why I cannot compare what I'm going through or what I have to Bishop Darren L. Gay. Can I take my time? See, I see what Bishop Gay is doing. I see the vision. I see the handwriting on the wall. I came in this morning. I saw the carpet. I see the pulpit podium. I see all the chairs. I hear part of the sound system. I see the new painting on the wall. But what I don't know is what it took in order to get that done. And that's the problem a lot of y'all have. You will come in and sit down and celebrate everything to being done. But you really don't know what it took to get here. Shake somebody's hand and tell them, neighbor, you really don't know what it took for me to get here. All the hell I went through last night, what I've been going through all week, what I had to wake up to today, you really don't know. You see the glory, but you don't know the story. Shake somebody's hand and say, preach to me, Pastor Nick. Y'all sit down, please. I don't take my time and talk. See, you need to understand. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody. Shake your neighbor's hand for the last time and say, neighbor, I ain't going to compare myself to you. And don't you compare yourself to me. You here and I'm here, and that's all that matters. I may be dressed up on the outside, but you really don't know what I'm going through on the inside. See, actuality, I'm going through all kinds of stuff. The smile on my face don't mean that